It would seem several lawmakers in Idaho's House of Representatives are hyper-focused on sex this session. More specifically, gender-related legislation has been making its way through the State House. Aside from the sex ed opt-in bill that is still expected to be introduced, the transgender athletes bill, Representative Ehart's Fairness in Women's Sports Act, was advanced to the House floor for a full debate yesterday. Today, House Bill 509 was introduced by Representative Julianne Young. The Idaho Vital Statistics Act would prevent transgender people from changing their gender on their birth certificate to match their gender identity after the first year of life. It, too, will be joining the transgender athlete bill on the House floor after being sent out of the State Affairs Committee with a 12-3 vote, right along party lines. This is at least the third year in a row lawmakers have tried to pass this type of legislation, and if it goes through this time, it would go against a federal ruling that has allowed such changes to a birth certificate. In 2018, a judge ruled that Idaho violated the constitutional rights of two transgender women who were told they couldn't change the gender on their birth certificates to match their identity. So you'd think a slap on the wrist from a federal judge would keep the state from trying such things. Well, not really. Last May, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare Board of Directors approved a temporary rule requiring anyone under 18 to get approval from medical or mental health professionals before requesting that change. Prior to that, only parental consent was required. Then in November, they thought better of it and walked away from that rule when the board learned they did not have enough votes to approve it. So here we are again, one step closer to making it against the law in Idaho, when a federal court has already said you can't do that. Representative Young made the case this morning for the bill, citing the differences between men and women when it comes to health and safety, but she pointed out mostly the bill is about maintaining accurate vital records. Vital records get changed on a daily basis. Marriage certificates, death certificates, divorce decrees, name changes, adoptions. We have ways to track such things. So how often does it happen when it comes to gender? According to Health and Welfare, between April 2018 that is, and January 31st, about 3 weeks ago, 176 people, including 28 minors, applied to change the gender on their birth certificates, and they ranged in age from 7 to 78. Tennessee and Ohio are the only states that do not allow changes to birth certificate gender markers. Both of them are being challenged in court. And you could probably make a safe bet that if this bill makes it past the governor's desk, it too will be challenged at the expense of Idaho's taxpayers.